Hi everyone, today I am going to demonstrate your science demonstration assignment for Education 376-379 at Nicholls State University. My name is Dr. Amy Hollander and I'm an assistant professor in teacher education. So today we are going to address the Louisiana Science Standard 1PS41, which is plan and conduct an investigation to provide evidence that vibrating materials can make sound and that sound can make materials vibrate. So the way that I like to open up a lesson is I like for my students to really own the information. And so the way that I would open up this lesson is I would tell students we're going to feel movement made by our voices when we talk, sing, hum, or laugh. And so then I'll give my students about 30 seconds to make as much noise as they want to get the wiggles out. Once I stop that 30 seconds, then I'm going to instruct them. I'm going to ask them, can you feel the sound of your voice by putting your hand on your body while you talk? And where do you think the best place to feel your body move when you talk, sing, or hum? And then I'm going to give them 1 minute to investigate. And I'm going to recommend that they do things like sing and touch their ears, touch their mouth, their cheeks, their nose, touch their throat, their chest. And while they're doing this, I'm going to kind of walk around and see what they're doing and ask them questions. I'm going to ask them questions like, did you find that one body part moved and others did not? Did you find tiny movements from speaking? Where do you feel them the best? And then I'm going to ask the students to share their observations with each other. So this is a great time to either do a think, pair, share, a four-way interview, or just allow them to discuss with each other in a group. Once they've done that, then I'm going to have them share out. And I would use something like an anchor chart, or I would use my smartboard and record what they saw. And what we're going to assume is most of your students are going to say things like, I could feel vibrations when I'm put my hand over my throat or my chest, or if I'm singing around my mouth. But where they really should be feeling vibrations is in their throat. And I will bring this back to that point at the end of this lesson. Then I would show a demonstration of sound in nature, and I would use a YouTube video similar to this. This is a video of an American bullfrog who is making various chirps and ribbits. Oh my gosh. If I can get it to work. And so I would ask my students then, what happens when the bullfrog is making noise? What did they observe? What did they see in the water? And I would hope that what they're seeing are ripples in the water, and that's what they would be observing. And I would obviously show that video a few times so that they could have a moment, and I would ask them to write down their observations and maybe even draw a picture. Then, if I were in an elementary school classroom, we would build guitars. And what we would do is we would take either Kleenex boxes or any type of box you have and use rubber bands and wrap those rubber bands around them and then have them pluck their guitars. However, I'm lucky in that I'm in my own house and own a guitar. So I'm going to show you what we would do with their guitars with a real guitar. So first, I would let my students look over the guitar and let them play with it a little bit to get the wiggles out again. And then I would have them look at the strings and I would ask them things like, what happens to the strings when they are plucked? Then I would ask students things like, when do you hear sound? What is the string doing? And I would have them write down their observations and maybe even draw a picture if they can, or at least write down what they're seeing their guitar or their partner's guitar doing. Once my students have finished playing with their guitars and written down their observations, then that's when I'm going to introduce the vocabulary. That's when I'm going to explain to them that what they're seeing is a vibration. And that's when I'm going to start to explain to them that sound is created when materials vibrate. And then finally, at the end of the lesson, what I would do is I would bring it back to us and I would discuss, well, how do we make sound? And what I would do is I would explain to them how we have vocal cords and we have these flaps in our throat. And every time we speak or sing or make any noise, what we're doing is we're vibrating those flaps. And then I would show them the following video. Now this video is really great. However, if you have anyone who doesn't do well with seeing tissues or endoscopic video, then fair warning.
Your head back. Take a nice big breath in and a big yee. Take a breath. Now do that soft.
So what you saw right there were vocal cords that were vibrating. And so that's how we make our own sounds. And so I would bring it back to our body. Now, after this lesson, you could then go into how sound can move things. You would then probably want to get into some of the resources. There's wonderful physical science children's literature out there that explains more about sound, and you can introduce the different vocabulary like sound waves, frequency, pitch, and then you can get into why sounds are of higher pitch and lower pitch, and there's a lot of activities on that as well to finish up the unit. Thanks guys for your patience. I had a ton of technical difficulty with my iPad and my screen recordings, and I hope you all had a great time.